How powerful can a president be when it comes to granting clemency? Can a president actually free someone from the shackles of a criminal conviction? These questions often arise when we talk about the power of the president to pardon or commute sentences. Clemency, which is a broad term that encompasses pardons, commutations, and reprieves, is essentially the power to forgive or reduce punishment for crimes. This power is vested in the president by the Constitution, and its implications are far-reaching. From the earliest days of our nation, presidents have exercised this power, often in ways that have sparked controversy and debate. For instance, Gerald Ford's pardon of Richard Nixon after his resignation is a prime example. This not only freed Nixon from potential criminal charges but also marked a significant moment in our nation's history. But the power of clemency isn't just about the high-profile cases we often hear about. It's also about the thousands of individuals who've had their sentences commuted or their records cleared, giving them a second chance at life. The power to grant clemency rests solely with the president, a privilege that has been used in many surprising ways throughout history. But how does President Joe Biden fit into this narrative? Presidential clemency has been a contentious issue throughout history, often sparking public debate and legal scrutiny. To understand this, let's take a stroll down the annals of history. In the early days of our republic, President George Washington set a precedent when he pardoned the instigators of the Whiskey Rebellion. This act was aimed at promoting peace and unity during a time of domestic unrest. However, it was met with mixed reactions, with some seeing it as an act of mercy and others as an abuse of power. Fast forward to the late 19th century, President Andrew Johnson granted amnesty to thousands of former Confederate soldiers after the Civil War in an attempt to restore national unity. This decision was met with wide-ranging responses, with some heralding it as a step towards reconciliation, while others criticized it as a betrayal of justice. In the 20th century, President Gerald Ford's pardon of his predecessor Richard Nixon, following the Watergate scandal, marked one of the most controversial uses of presidential clemency. This decision was viewed by many as a necessary step to heal the nation, but others saw it as a political maneuver to shield Nixon from justice. And more recently, in the 21st century, we have seen a significant increase in the use of executive clemency. Presidents like Bill Clinton and Donald Trump have granted pardons and commutations to individuals involved in high-profile cases, often sparking intense public debate. These instances of clemency have varied in their rationale, from seeking national unity to healing political wounds and even personal motivations. The public response, too, has been diverse, sometimes applauding the mercy shown, other times questioning the motives and the implications for justice. The power to grant clemency has been used and questioned throughout the ages. Now let's bring this conversation into the present day. Enter President Joe Biden, a man faced with the power of clemency amidst a nation fraught with legal and political challenges. As the 46th President of the United States, Biden wields the power to grant mercy in the form of clemency. His stance on this issue has been clear. He believes in the power of redemption and the importance of second chances. While his presidency is still unfolding, Biden has already shown his willingness to use this power. He has granted clemency to several individuals, underscoring his belief in the potential for rehabilitation and the importance of fairness in the justice system. Each case is unique, and each decision is made with careful consideration of the individual circumstances. Looking to the future, it's certain that Biden will continue to face situations where the power of clemency comes into play. It could be a high-profile case that captures national attention, or a lesser-known case that nonetheless carries profound implications for the individual involved. President Joe Biden, like his predecessors, holds the power of clemency. His use of this power will undoubtedly be a significant part of his legacy. So, what does it mean for a president to grant clemency? What impact does it have on the individual, the legal system, and the nation? Well, the effects can be far-reaching and multifaceted. On the individual level, clemency can mean a second chance, an opportunity to reintegrate into society and reshape one's life. It represents a personal victory over past mistakes and a beacon of hope for a better future. In terms of the justice system, clemency can serve as a corrective measure. It can redress instances of excessive sentencing, rectify wrongful convictions, or counteract systemic inequalities. It's a way for the president to temper the strict application of law with human empathy and understanding. On a national scale, the power of clemency can influence public perception. It underscores the president's role not just as a political figure, but as a moral leader. The way a president uses, or doesn't use, this power can shape the narrative around their administration and legacy. Clemency decisions can spark public debate, challenge societal views on punishment and redemption, and even influence future legislation. They can serve as a reflection of the prevailing societal values and attitudes towards justice, mercy, and forgiveness. The power to grant clemency is not just a legal tool, but a symbol of the president's influence on justice and mercy in our society.